June 17th to the 19th, 5th annual Toronto NPH Showcase. This is a very exciting one. We're about to jump into the deepest talent pool that we've ever had. In most recent history, we've seen guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Christian David, Abu Kigab, Jaylen Warren, all have phenomenal showcases which led to an increase in their exposure and an increase in their recruitment. That is by nature what North Pole Hoops provides at these camps. But I want to put it into perspective at just how much exposure you can get in 3 days at camp. A report goes out to over 100 NCAA coaches, CIS, JUCO, CCAA, and most recently we're being contacted more by NBA personnel. Then there's 100,000 in viewership on NorthPoleHoops.com. Then there's the live stream that goes on. Bang for the buck, there is no other camp that I've seen in North America that provides this much exposure. My job as a national scout is to identify the prospects at camp and make sure that we track their progress throughout the high school season, the club, and AAU season. From there, we build a profile for them online through our database and make sure that these kids are getting ranked and seen by coaches who are subscribed to our service. The NPH Showcase coaching staff are absolutely a vital part of this camp. We got All-Americans, All-Canadians, guys who have been drafted to the NBA, people like Kyle Julius, who's currently coaching professionally, Tony Sims, new technical director, drafted to the Knicks, Mike Kabongo, All-American. They kind of set the foundation and provide the blueprint to these prospects that come in and are looking for exposure and development. If you consider yourself a top prospect, log on to showcase.northpolehoops.com. We'll be continuing the circuit June 17th to the 19th in Toronto before making our West Coast swing. As always, game speaks.
Introducing the National Preparatory Association.
June 17th to the 19th, 5th annual Toronto NPH Showcase. This is a very exciting one. We're about to jump into the deepest talent pool that we've ever had. In most recent history, we've seen guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Christian David, Abu Kigab, Jaylen Warren, all have phenomenal showcases which led to an increase in their exposure and an increase in their recruitment. That is by nature what North Pole Hoops provides at these camps. But I want to put it into perspective at just how much exposure you can get in 3 days at camp. A report goes out to over 100 NCAA coaches, CIS, JUCO, CCAA, and most recently we're being contacted more by NBA personnel. Then there's 100,000 in viewership on NorthPoleHoops.com. Then there's the live stream that goes on. Bang for the buck, there is no other camp that I've seen in North America that provides this much exposure. My job as a national scout is to identify the prospects at camp and make sure that we track their progress throughout the high school season, the club, and AAU season. From there, we build a profile for them online through our database and make sure that these kids are getting ranked and seen by coaches who are subscribed to our service. The NPH Showcase coaching staff are absolutely a vital part of this camp. We got All-Americans, All-Canadians, guys who have been drafted to the NBA, people like Kyle Julius, who's currently coaching professionally, Tony Sims, new technical director, drafted to the Knicks, Mike Kabongo, All-American. They kind of set the foundation and provide the blueprint to these prospects that come in and are looking for exposure and development. If you consider yourself a top prospect, log on to showcase.northpolehoops.com. We'll be continuing the circuit June 17th to the 19th in Toronto before making our West Coast swing. As always, game speaks.
We're back at it from Toronto. There you have it. The underclassmen MVP belonged to Joel Brown. Ended up flirted with a triple-double. We had some candidates. Jaden Campbell and Noah Wharton were the runners-up for a fantastic game for the underclassmen. Elias, upperclassmen are in action, full swing. Who are we to look out for? I mean, we're familiar with a lot of these guys.
I mean, one of the top playmakers here is number 66 in white on your screen, Keyshawn Saunders, capable of playing both guard positions, can even play as a 3 if you really need him to. But he's one of the top guys, I would say. And he's a 2018. If we're looking at some of the older guys with the ball right now, Michael Nuga on the attack. That's a name you're going to get familiar with. Look forward to seeing him at the JUCO level. He has 6 schools recruiting him now. There's Nuga with the rebound. Very athletic, very explosive. Here's Dean Andrade coming up the floor, giving it up to Quentin Hamilton. Yikes! Michael Nuga catching the alley-oop. The level of difficulty on that one, very tough. You know that's going in the highlights. Nuga bringing up the ball here. Again, a 2016 uncommitted guard. Will be at the JUCO level next year. Where he decides to go, still unsure. We'll be sitting with him this week to discuss. Here's Quentin Hamilton again, bringing the ball up. Comes off a spin, gets trapped. And John Nwosu being guarded by his former high school teammate at Clarkson. Strong body Nwosu is. Also an uncommitted guard. Jabril Price-Noel bringing up the ball, 2017, 6'5", guard forward. And a quick timeout called by Team Black.
Introducing the National Preparatory Association. Introducing the National Preparatory Association.
Back at it. Toronto North Pole Hoop Showcase, upperclassmen game, very well underway. That was Elias Spate, National Scout, dropping some knowledge on you early on. And like you said, there's a ton of mixture of talent. Uncommitted, upcoming. For me, the best prospect possibly could be Josip Vrankic. Would you agree?
He's definitely one of them at 6'9", with his abilities, his IQ, and you know the fact that he can stretch out the floor all the way out to the three-point line and make bigs come out at him definitely makes him a threat. But then you got guys with some serious long-term potential.
I have to stop you right there because Scotty Too Hottie Hitchin is massive on that dunk.
Yeah, but as I was saying, I mean, there's guys like Jabril Price-Noel, who's a 6'6", guard wing, who I talked about a little bit earlier.
2018.
That's right. As Keyshawn Saunders, a great playmaker as well. So, I mean, there's a wealth of talent in here.
And there you, on cue, have it, Josip Vrankic with the showing that IQ, showing that patience on the pump fake. There's a lot of storylines here, Elias. You talk about Josip, you talk about all these potential high major prospects, but the other storyline is you have these hungry kids, maybe 3 or 4 of them, that are still uncommitted, and this could be their last hurrah. You got coaches watching in the gym and online. You know, they're trying to make an impression. You have John Nwosu, who was one of the top performers in the Tri-City camp a month ago. He's a bulldog, 6'2", more of a scorer, but can be a secondary ball handler. He's with the ball in his hands right now. Lefty as well. Bounces it to Bobby Dallowell. Gets it back. Looked like he was going to finish hard, but rolls it right in. Get you some intel on our guy Scott Hitchin with the 38-inch max vertical, by the way. And this game is getting heated early. You can see the intensity level. It's on another level when you talk about the comparison between the older guys and the younger guys.
Yeah, I think there's a sense of urgency with the older guys. They're trying to prove themselves. They're trying to get looks. They see coaches in the stands right now. They see, you know, Queens, Waterloo, York, a bunch of U of T, of course. They're hosting this. So, you know, there's a lot of different universities in the mix here as well as watching online, so they know what's up.
And right now, We have the two younger point guards, 2018 point guards, giving it up to Bobby Dallowell, working the post. No good there on the finish. And Anthony McNish in transition there. McNish has had an interesting story. A kid that went to Father Henry Carr early on. He's mixed it up in the States. Is now at Balboa, play with one of the best NBA prospects. Sorry.
No, he switched up schools. I can't remember the name of the school that he's at now, but he switched it up. He's playing also with an American team on the AAU circuit, but definitely an interesting story, though.
Yeah, California Supreme, that is, who's a top-notch team. But he is indeed playing with DeAndre Ayton, one of the best prospects in the world right now, an NBA prospect, so he'll get some pretty good exposure there. But more importantly, you know, I'm interested to see where he's at development-wise, you know, at 6'3", 6'4", long and athletic. You know, pretty much you can call him a guard wing type, and he's been improving in those areas with his ball handling.
At the line right now is Dion Edgem, brother of Melvin Edgem, who, you know, had a phenomenal career at Iowa State and is currently playing professionally.
But I wanted you to touch on a guy like Anthony McNish. I wanted to touch on his development.
Sure, I mean,
You've seen it up front.
Yeah, McNish is, you know, he's expanded his skill set, stepping out, shooting threes. You know, one of the biggest stages I've ever seen him on was at the Jordan Brand Classic, where he was a runner-up with Javon Blair. You know, Javon Blair ended up with MVP there, but he was definitely a runner-up. So 2 Canadians in the mix at the Jordan Brand Classic. And since then, he's actually went from playing, you know, a power forward, small forward position to now more of a 2-3.
Very early on here in the upperclassmen game, it is 15-7 for the white team. Once again, you have a collection of talent from all over: Mississauga, Toronto, Brampton, Burlington, Kingston. Nice kick out there to McNish. Floats it up, no good. Julian Walker battling down low.
One of the smallest guys on the floor right now, 48 in the white, Tariq El-Bakri. You know, he's small body, you know, very frail, but showed his IQ all week long, was able to create space, was able to create plays for his teammates, and he really used the ball screen well. That's one thing that stuck out to me. A 2018 prospect, you know, has time on his side still.
Yeah, and he's a kid that, Julian Walker, that is, off the line, is a kid with a ton of upside. Plays out of Brantford. Last year, Hill Academy has now changed their name there in the upcoming season to TRC Academy. And Walker is at 6'6", 6'7", long and athletic. But we urge him, we are challenging him to take to the next level mentally. Here's Dallowell inside. Tariq.
And Christian Bentley, number 83, tried to make the save there. Another one of those guys, you know, that is severely under-recruited. Can score it at multiple levels, you know, can get to the rim, can shoot the three, can create his own play. Here's Tariq again. Brings up the ball to Christian Bentley and gets chopped by Kajon Gordon-Stevens. He'll go to the line for two.
Lots of action down low. Still close ball game here. White up 15-10 early on. McNish on the ball. Crossover move, pull up there. Team Black responds. And a point guard matchup has been an interesting one. Ooh, Trevor Hutton was trying to throw that one down. No good there. Another uncommitted 2016 prospect.
And he's one of the most athletic.
Sneaky athletic.
Sneaky athletic
He
of.
like he could jump out the gym, but he can.
Yeah, and he's another one that's like fits into the combo mold. Really able to shoot the three, can create space using a step back, about 5 feet long. Look out for Trevor Hutton. He's got some CIS interest.
A kid that's hungry. You don't make this top prospect game if you haven't shown that throughout the weekend. Here's Dallowell backing it down against Josef Vrankic. And Adam Selin making that good decision tonight. Michael Nuga turns on the Jets. No good. Cleanup crew, Mason Madaw can't get it to fall. And there was a Euro step there, an unnecessary one that was. Got caught up down low. Wow, Pitbull's down on the floor. That's what we like to see.
So you see, as you mentioned earlier, you see the intensity pick up here with the upperclassmen.
Here is Price. Shaquille Price with a nice feed to Midal from London, who is unable to get it to go. Check that. That was Tyreek Daly on that feed. Devon Brown on the bounce. Bobby Dallowell trying to attack.
Yeah, Bobby's just got to do a better job of, getting deeper into the post, establishing position a little lower before getting that entry pass. Dallowell's a 6'10 center. He's really bought into the position.
Michael Nuga, though. Another talk about uncommitted prospects. CIS's, JUCOs need to be all over this kid. This kid is impact from day one. A scorer's mentality, 6'2 freak athlete, can shoot it, can drive it, can play make, and loves to score it.
He's very unselfish, though, at the same time. I mean, if the shot's not available for him, he's making that.
Kajon Gordon-Stevens hits that three ball, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from Kajon on the floor, diving for loose balls, scrapping it up. He's got a chance to be extremely high level, 2018 prospect. Nice feed.
Tyreek Daly feeding the big man, Josef Vrankic. Josef Vrankic will go to the line and try to complete this three-point play.
You saw two things in that play. You got to see Tyreek Daly and his playmaking ability, and you saw Josef Vrankic. That kid's able to finish with left, with right, with poise, with precision. Big fella's being recruited by a dozen NCAA programs. Recently went on a visit to Yale.
Yeah, and Coach Justin Simon from Yale, been a guy that's constantly in contact and is invested into recruiting in Canada. The Ivy League programs are, really starting to take our guys seriously, and the fact that our guys, usually are very strong academically, definitely helps.
Michael Nuga, we talked about A.J. Lawson in the last game as the MVP at Tri-City. He was the underclassman MVP, and here you have Michael Nuga, who was the upperclassman MVP, making some noise here. Nuga again for three. No good. And kids are scrapping it up right now. Adam Selin on the nice handoff to Nuga, who's fouled. Good foul. Tough play there, but Nuga will go to the line for two.
And one guy in this game that may not get a lot of minutes, but, is definitely up there in terms of potential. Joseph Alati, he's number 140 in the black. He's on the bench right now, but when you see him play, look at the little things that he does. The way he closes out on his man, the way he seals to rebound. Does a lot of the intangibles that aren't really, you can't be recorded, but, do a lot for a team.
This kid Joseph, he's got the size for his position. He's got a stroke. He's like 6'5". I'm not confident to say that he's a straight two yet because of the defensive side, but he can stroke it. Free throws are good for Nuga. Here is another uncommitted kid from Mississauga, Ontario. St. Joseph's product, Clytus Griffith. Javon Brown with it. Kajon Gordon gets his hands on it, and now it's back to Scott Hitchin.
And a forced one that time by Hitchin. You know, there's many other shots available. You can't try to rush it.
Team Black's working, and Scott Hitchin is definitely working the glass. Nice tip in there. Coach Aaron Greystone on the sideline with Jermaine Rock Anderson. And they're taking on Sergeant Pejicic, Toot Roush, and Greg Carter. Good defense here. Joseph Vrankic for three. You know, when he releases it, I just feel like it's going in every time. His efficiency is through the charts.
Joseph Vrankic being recruited by Columbia, Dartmouth.
Duquesne. Whoa, easy there. There's Scotty Hitchin. Try to dunk it on that one. It was a nice feed from Clytus Griffith. Another uncommitted kid. You know, another CIS kid. You know, Canadian coaches can't be sleeping. If you do, they're just going to go to the States. I'm all over Clytus Griffith. He's another guy that, you know, can play the one and can play the two because he can really shoot it.
Clytus coming out of St. Joe's in Mississauga. A guy who's been, you know, competing at the highest of levels, played with SLE on a team with Christian David, Jordan Brathwaite, Xavier Ochu. You know, did really well with that team. And as you mentioned, Tarek, it brings a multitude of, you know, different skill sets as well as personal qualities.
Here's Jabril Price-Noel on the step back, 2018 prospect, no good. Javon Brown with it. 2017 kid on the come up. You'll be hearing Javon Brown's name. Scott Hitchin. Oh, with the hammer on the baseline. He can do that.
Good job.
Definitely do that.
You know, good job recognizing where his defender was, being able to spin off of him.
Great feed there. Nope. There's a turnover. Griffith. Nice feed.
And that's Christian Bentley with the steal and the feed.
John Nwasu asking for it down low. Keyshawn Saunders on the denial. Here's Clytus. Almost traveled. I thought he did, but no call. Nwasu on the attack. Lefty. Yup. Here's Keyshawn Saunders. To Jabril. Lots of nice 2018 prospects on this floor right now. McNish. Behind the back. Loses it. And Black is scrapping right now. Bentley to Saunders. Nice move there. And Hitchin cleans it up. Hitchin starting the break. Looking for some help. He's still dribbling it. And it will remain Black ball.
And here's who we were talking about earlier, Joseph Valadi, on the floor right now for Team Black, number 140.
Elias, right now we got the upperclassmen game, and we got to step it up a notch because the upperclassmen right now are definitely stepping it up. Hitchin is up top. He's trying to dribble a little bit too much right now.
Yeah, he's getting a little excited after that dunk. You know, stick with what you know, stick with what you do best.
Jabril Price-Noel in transition. Nice finish there for the 2018 6'6" combo guard. Here's Quentin Hamilton, another uncommitted 2016. Check that. He is committed to a junior college. I did speak with them, as I found out recently. He'll look to be going there for a year and then exploring some other options at the post-secondary level. 6'6" swing, can shoot it. Keyshawn Saunders bringing it up. Guarded by Nwasu, who's got some strength on him. Ooh.
Jabril Price Noel, 2017.
2018.
2018, apologize, yeah.
Come on, I told you to step up your game.
2018, hey man, we're in the mix with over 150 prospects, you know.
We're
Sometimes you
computers.
forget.
Nice pass from Nowasu. Two-hand jam, Scotty Hitchin. Looking to boost his stock after this camp, and I like what I'm seeing from the kid. Nice shot there by Christian Bentley. These boys are scrapping. Team White in full control here. They are opening this thing wide open in a 20-point game, 45-25. Wasu with it. Nice spin in the lane and a nice finger roll. Here's Dean Andrade with it, number 94 in black. Gives it up to Laddie. Hamilton to Nowasu. 3-ball, great ball movement there. Everybody got a touch.
And Black's playing really unselfish in these last few possessions, really moving the ball, moving their feet.
They're chipping away here. Keyshawn Saunders with a nice kick out to Bentley. And Nowasu, let's see what he can do with the ball in his hands. Bringing the ball up. Nice little left to right crossover, losing the defender. Screens for Andrade. Back to Nowasu.
Here's Haladi to Hitchin.
I believe they're going to call 3 in the key. And yeah, that's a good call. I do like the concept, though. I do like the idea. You know, they're trying to share the ball. They're trying to get the best shot available. Just got caught sleeping there in the paint. Thank you to MDP Productions, also in the house here. Doing a good job, young and up and coming. Hard-working folks there at MDP. Thank you to Gatorade, the official fuel of the Toronto MPH Showcase. Want to also thank the University of Toronto Varsity Blues, of course, our gracious hosts for the last 3 years of the MPH Showcase camp. Nawasu's got to make a decision. And it was a tough one. Right decision, but it was lacking a little mustard on that pass. Good movement from White. Walker with it. Tanuga. 3-ball. No, sir.
Quentin Hamilton on the left wing, bringing it up. Turns it over, though. Passes it right into the defense's hands. And we got Tyreek Daly going the other way. Tries the acrobatic finish, but it's no good.
Nice pass there by Dean to Quentin. Yes, sir. That's one thing I like about Dean. I think he's a little bit underrated in terms of what he can provide on the floor as a high IQ kid. Can make shots, and he knows he's got to improve on his muscle and also his overall conditioning, and he has improved. He's still got ways to go to take his game to another level, to be able to defend the perimeter at a high level, but he's got a good makeup in terms of the intangibles.
Yeah, and out of necessity, you know, I've seen him play even the power forward. Just you know, playing on a smaller team in high school at Jean Vanier before making the move over to BTB, and now, you know, he's a little behind, but catching up quickly.
Yes, he is. You see him right now. He's guarding Daly. I don't think he could have guarded him about a year ago, just based on the speed. But you know, he's looking good, right on him. And that's part of the growth process. You know, everyone's got weaknesses, and how do you attack them? Walker, 3-ball. Yes, sir. And there shows you a glimpse of what he could be.
You're looking at a 6'6" wing there.
Maybe 6'7", maybe.
Could be.
I mean, look at that length too. Dion Edgem with it, younger brother of Melvin Edgem, former Iowa State Cyclone, current pro. Quentin Hamilton with it, nope. I love the work that the coaching staff is doing there, as Medal misses that one. You see Aaron Greystone working with Scott Hitchin on the sideline, teaching him how to post up the right way. Here's Walker in transition. Look out. Oh, and he goes and eats that rim.
I thought he was going to throw down a windmill there. He's got some special dunks in his system.
Yeah, he's definitely got the springs. And as we talked about it, you had the kid shoot the 3-ball that last possession, and now he goes and crams it. Walker showing the full package there. Bad pass. Nuga out for it. Tosses it up. Medao on the attack is no good. Out of control a little bit.
And the black team right now really's got to get, one of their top point guards on the floor to handle the ball.
Nuga pull up. No good. And black should be out. 3-on-2 situation. See, that's where you got to read the defense. As a player in transition, you got to see the 3-on-2. You got to see that a guy is open, slow it down, and make a good decision.
Well, his options on that particular play were to plant and spin off of it, or to make the pass earlier. He had a trail with him.
Uh-oh.
The black team tries for the alley-oop there to Kajon Gordon-Stevens.
Way off there on that one. Good passing there. Kajon Stevens with the nice little toss-up. I thought he might have dunked that one. You know how athletic that kid is.
Talk about bunnies. Yeah, you can't mention bunnies without, mentioning Gordon-Stevens.
A little bit of a Marcus Audi 2.0 type, but I think he's a little bit more advanced as a PG, as Medao knocks that one down on the baseline. Gordon-Stevens on the controls, guarded by Nuga. Nice matchup there. 2 years younger, but it doesn't matter. They're both freak athletes.
Hesitation move by Edgin. Gets him free, but couldn't finish.
Michael Nuga. You love how this kid just, forces the contact. He just puts the defenders on ice. He makes sure that, no matter what, his mission is to get to the rim and to score the basketball. Love this kid, Michael Nuga. And right now, Elias, I know it's early, but he is he's a candidate. I'm going to say it. He's an MVP candidate. What do you think?
I wouldn't disagree with you, man. He's been consistent all weekend long. And he's here for a reason. And that reason is to continue gaining exposure. There's at least 40 coaches watching right now that have confirmed they are watching. Hopefully somebody's ready to make the move and pull the trigger with Michael Nuga. Because, in 2 years, once he takes care of those academics at the JUCO level, there is a very good chance that you can see him in the NCAA.
You can bet on that.
Sorry, in Division I.
You can bet on that. And if you're a CIS program, you got to inquire to see his grades. He's not going to be at a U of T or a McGill or a Queens, but he may have the academics necessary to play at the CIS level. And if someone was to manage to get this kid, for the CIS coaches listening, you guys might know of a guy named Javon Masters, who a lot of people slept on. He was a top 50 kid coming out of high school in the MPH rankings and now leading the nation in scoring year after year. Nuga now, he's a more athletic version of a Javon Masters. So, don't sleep. Here we go. Michael Nuga, with a little time, launches it. And that will be the halftime buzzer. I did want to let you guys know we do have a contest going for a free exclusive MPH True North Strong t-shirt. All you got to do, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to our North Pole Hoops YouTube channel. And we'll be announcing the giveaway shortly. In the meantime, stay tuned for the second half.
June 17th to the 19th, 5th annual Toronto NPH Showcase. This is a very exciting one. We're about to jump into the deepest talent pool that we've ever had. In most recent history, we've seen guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Christian David, Abu Kigab, Jalen Warren, all have phenomenal showcases, which led to an increase in their exposure and an increase in their recruitment. That is by nature what North Pole Hoops provides at these camps. But I want to put it into perspective at just how much exposure you can get in 3 days at camp. A report goes out to over 100 NCAA coaches, CIS, JUCO, CCAA, and most recently we're being contacted more by NBA personnel. Then there's 100,000 in viewership on NorthPoleHoops.com. Then there's the live stream that goes on. Bang for the buck, there is no other camp that I've seen in North America that provides this much exposure. My job as a national scout is to identify the prospects at camp and make sure that we track their progress throughout the high school season, the club, and AAU season. From there, we build a profile for them online through our database and make sure that these kids are getting ranked and seen by coaches who are subscribed to our service. The NPH Showcase coaching staff are absolutely a vital part of this camp. We got All-Americans, All-Canadians, guys who have been drafted to the NBA, people like Kyle Julius, who's currently coaching professionally, Tony Sims, new technical director, drafted to the Knicks, Mike Kabongo, All-American. They kind of set the foundation and provide the blueprint to these prospects that come in and are looking for exposure and development. If you consider yourself a top prospect, log on to showcase.northpolehoops.com. We'll be continuing the circuit June 17th to the 19th in Toronto before making our West Coast swing. As always, game speaks.
Second half action. Lob City. No good there. Vrankic too far for him. Nowasu back at it. Observing the field. Nice pass there. And that's what we're talking about with a guy like Nowasu. He's not a pure point guard. I'll never tell you that. But he is a two guard that can make plays and can be a secondary ball handler, can be a secondary playmaker. Nice kick out there to Nuga from Saunders. Doesn't get it to go, but the guys are scrapping. Jabril and Price Noel. Everybody's in the paint. Nowasu back at it. Another pass, good pass from Nowasu. The score is 54-37. White up big here, but everyone's playing for keeps. Here's Quinton Hamilton. No good on the jump shot. And Saunders on the attack. Pull up. He should take it and does. Here's Vrankic battling down low. They're packing in the paint, E. Not much going on there.
Vrankic making the effort to get back. Couldn't in time.
Andrade with an easy finish. Keyshawn Saunders on the wing. Nice move there. Very nice move.
Yes, good recognition. He noticed that the feet of the defender turned there for a second and saw a gap open up.
Yes.
Drove
nice little
baseline.
Sweep and goal. That's good fundamental skill set. And what I loved even more was when he hit the floor, every teammate came in to pick him up. I mean, a lot of these guys have never played together, and what's happening is you're seeing a natural, organic camaraderie. And shout out to the coaching staff for implementing that into their brains. Thank you to On Point Basketball, also in the house, a major supporter of Canadian basketball. Thank you to our major sponsor, Gatorade Canada, the official fuel of the Toronto NPH Showcase. And of course, this live stream fueled by Gatorade Canada. Nowasu on the attack here, spin. He's still surveying the field, making some good decisions there. Dean Andrade with it. Nuga waiting on the wing there to pick it off.
He's involved in every play, whether it's on the defensive end or offensive. He's got his hands in the passing lanes. He pressures his man. Can do it full court or in the half court set. Plays deny. Dion Ejim this time on the attack, absorbing the contact and coming up with a finish.
Here's Keyshawn Saunders up top. Pulls up from 3. On the dime, no good. There's Hitchin. He's got gobbling up all the rebounds, and he's starting to break. Nice bounce pass. Finds his man. Dion Ejim with the easy finish. There you go, big fella. That's how you start the break. Just don't get it up too fancy with the over dribbling. Daly with it up top. Another uncommitted kid. And looks like Vrankic just looking to set up the screen. Yep, he takes it. Hey, Vrankic. Highly recruited big fella in the 2017 class. Elias, I'm not sure what you think about this one, but he could be the top dog in that class as a big.
As a big man, yes. I mean, there's other guys like Anthony Longpre and Arnaud Boyer-Celis from Quebec.
Don't sleep on Hitchin. Do not sleep on Hitchin because he's showing me some great signs of progress.
He's a little. I think he's pretty behind in terms of his development. And
where is he behind? Talk to me.
Well, from a skill standpoint, I don't think that he can shoot it as well or close to shoot it as well as Vrankic or some of the other guys in that class.
But I do believe that he's making a case. When we talk about a guy like Arnaud and a few of the other bigs, I think that with his athleticism, I think that differentiates him. The only concern I had from him early is, he had that passion, and how do you control that passion? He's looking a lot more composed than he was in the early years as Julian Walker nails the 3. There's, of course, Elias, a lot to be discussed. We're talking rankings, we're talking evaluating talent. But one thing's for sure, the depth of talent. Every class is getting wider and wider. Nice move there.
There's Walker again for another triple.
And I'm seeing that confidence in Julian. He's looking his man down. I like it. Julian Walker, stay tuned.
We're looking at about a 6'6", 6'7" wing there for Julian Walker. And as he continues to trust that three-pointer, Tariq with a turnover there.
One guy I definitely wanted to address and acknowledge is Andre Garich. He's a fairly unknown kid coming out of, I believe it's the North Toronto Huskies, and he's about 6'5", a little bit undersized for position, but he's get that hard hat and blue pail and get to work type of guy. He's an energy giver. He's a guy that I would be all over if I'm a CIS coach. Looks like a high academic kid. And the reason I say that is because by the way that he plays. Usually high IQ basketball players are high academic kids.
And he is. You're right about that. He is.
Boom.
His academic average is about 82, if I recall. So I mean, the kids got it together mentally. He checks in all the categories you need him to. And I agree with you. If I'm a CIS school, I'm definitely taking a look.
And I believe he can hit that 3. I'm not sure if he's shown it in this game, but I have watched him in the Ball for Markey tournament. Hosted by the Mississauga Monarchs, and I did see him shoot some 3s, inside-outside game. He's making his mark, no doubt. There's Walker on that attack.
Forced it that time.
It's good ball movement. Julian Walker with the board. Oh, big block by Hutton. Here's Gordon Stevens on the attack. Floater game. Yes, sir. He's got that.
Christian Bentley, you know, not letting the defense set up, quickly makes the attack on the other side.
And the earlier pass was from Tariq Bakri Hamad. Elias, tell me about this kid. I know he's been making strong impressions on the coaching staff.
Yeah, Coach Antwi Atueni, as well as David Tyndale and Toot Rosh, we're looking at him on day one. You know, we saw him use the screens really well. Saw him make sound decisions, you know, off the screen, whether it was for the guy that was rolling or for the guy that was picking. And you know, he's a high IQ kid. Despite his size, he was able to handle himself, you know, against stronger physical players. Showed the ability to shoot the three as well.
And his toughness. I mean, as a little guy, you always gotta have the extra something to you, and he's got that. Bobby Dallowell backing his man down, guarded by Walker. 6'10", he's got size, and can he shoot it? Yes, he can, but misses on that one. Does have a decent stroke though. We've seen that in the drill work. Christian Bentley slices through the defense, showing a pulse. Still a 20-point game, 67-47. White is up, not giving anything easy. Gordon Stevens backs up, 3-ball, no good. Garich could be a University of Toronto recruit. We talked about his high academics, and it's just a workhorse. And has been accepted to U of T, I'm told. Oh, I like how he sized him up there. McNish showing that work. You see him in the triple threat position. He's low. He's working that ball. Special thanks to head coach John Campbell and Mike DeGiorgio of the University of Toronto. And the Varsity Blues is a hosting partner for the Toronto NPH Showcase. I mean, when you're talking about the Goldring Center, you're talking about arguably the most beautiful facility in the country.
In the city, for sure. I haven't seen all of them in the country. I can't say that
I've
for
seen
sure.
the University of Calgary, which is also top notch, and this is right there. We're sitting here on this beautiful balcony, looking down with a bird's eye view, the best view. Here's Julian Walker on getting his hands in the cookie jar. He got a little bit carried away though. He's
got to give it up a little bit earlier, and then, you know, hope to get it back. If your guy doesn't finish, or if the defender, you know, moves the other way, you might get it back.
Here we go, Claythis Griffith coming back at it to Dallowell. The big fella shoots another three. You know, I think Dallowell's an intriguing prospect with his size, and he's got some mobility to him, but, you know, he clearly needs to add some muscle mass, which will in turn gain his confidence. You know, he's shown us shooting a little bit of a shooting stroke, but he's not yet there confidence-wise, but definitely intriguing. Another kid I'll be keeping tabs on if I'm a post-secondary coach. Can't teach size, as they say. Here's Hutton on the attack. 3-ball. No, sir.
Contested on that one.
Oh, look at Javon Brown. He skied up for that one, didn't he? Didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Javon Brown, as I mentioned earlier, he's a kid that's you're gonna hear his name constantly throughout the year. He'll be suiting up with BTB prep this upcoming year. Hidden gems, as we say. We're out here to find these guys. Here is Christian Bentley. McNish on the attack, no good, but he'll go to the line. This game's an interesting one right now. You know, let's talk MVP race. Who do you have, as we kind of approach the end of this one?
Well, I think this would be the first time this happens, but the guy that I got right now is got to be Michael Nuga, if we're basing it off of the course of the entire weekend, which we do.
Well, there's still to be TBD, to be determined. That's Hutton there, Trevor Hutton with the beautiful stroke. We saw his athleticism early, now he's stroking it. Bentley. Kicks it out to Medal, 3-ball. Yes, no, they don't call it. Looks like he stepped out of bounds. So you're talking Michael Nuga, are you? Well, you know what? I think Hitchin has been balling out. I think he's been rebounding at a high level on both ends of the floor. He's got to be a candidate at least. You have Josip Vrankic.
Josip Vrankic is up there for me. I mean, among the bigs, he definitely dominated.
Here we go. This is the matchup right here. Let's see what he does. Good attack there. And that's where I see, you see those two bigs. One is a more athletic, less skilled guy, but more power and athlete. The other is a skill finesse guy. So you can see how Josip can respond to athleticism, and you can see how Scott can respond to skill. And I think, between those guys, Scott might be winning this matchup. And we're going to look to the stat sheet to tell some of the story. But if you talk about the look test, which is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm definitely not interested in the look test. I'm interested in.
Oh, you got to be interested in
a
the look
guy.
test.
No.
Well, that's maybe because your look isn't as deadly as mine.
You mean your vision, Tarek. Your vision.
Call it what you want.
Listen to me. When we're talking about this matchup right here,
Yes.
Scott Hitchin and Josip Vrankic, you are meaning to tell me that when you are picking a team, that you're gonna take a mature. You're gonna choose. I really don't want to put these guys on blast. You're putting me in a tough situation here.
No, that's not a tough situation. You keep it 100.
Okay, well, Josip Vrankic.
Scott Hitchin is a guy that has had his difficulties in terms of his maturity, and as I mentioned, he needs to learn how to control his passion, which is it's an area that I'm a victim of, you could say.
Oh, no kidding.
But at least I admit my weaknesses, unlike some people. But anyways, back to the game. Josip Vrankic kicks it out. High IQ kid. It's a nice matchup, regardless of what anyone can say. Michael Nuga, mid-range jumper. Yes, sir. He's got that. He can score at all three levels. From deep, from the mid-range, and at the rack. That's Michael Nuga, who, in your opinion, is the MVP here. Hitchin, 2 hands. This kid's looking like Blake Griffin out here trying to dunk on guys.
That is a very far-fetched comparison.
Take it with a grain of salt, Elias, but
I'm
you
not
saw that last play. He might be on the mixtape alert because he's been impressive. You saw him on the baseline, making nice moves, attacking the sideline. Listen, game speaks. Give Scott Hitchin his credit.
So you're gonna play that card. You are gonna put me in a situation where you're gonna make it seem like to the public that I'm dogging the kid.
You see, it sounds like you are. It sounds like
I'm not at all. You asked me Scott Hitchin or Josip Vrankic.
Okay,
I told you Josip Vrankic.
That's fair.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, and if you ask me, I will say Josip Vrankic too. But what I will say, I'm not trying to pick here, but what I am saying is Scott Hitchin, look out for him because he is making major progress.
I'm not telling you otherwise.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back in a few. Josip Vrankic at the line. Josip Vrankic makes the first. And you have Team White in full command, 74-50. Brown with it. Good recognition. Kleithus with the 3-ball. He can get that. Misses it. Halati to Hitchin with the 2-hand jam. He says, Elias, I see you and I got you. Nuga right back at him though. Wow.
And that's one of Nuga's strengths is his ability to get out in transition, the ability to fill lanes and get out in the open court and score.
He could do what has never been done on the NPA Showcase National Camp Circuit in 5 years. That's back-to-back MVPs. Wow.
And there he is again, going back at it.
I like it.
Javon Brown that time takes the body and finishes on the left-hand side. Here's Tyreek Daly getting the ball to Josip Vrankic. Josip's going to try the 3. No good.
Here is Griffiths on the attack. Out. No good there. But the cleanup crew, Javon Brown.
And
Nuga's back at it.
Quentin Hamilton, I mean, I want to see him do things that I know that he does well. And that is slash, get rebounds, block shots. But he's been experimenting a lot. Ooh.
Oh, my Lord. If you're telling me he's not looking like Blake Griffin,
there.
I think you're blind, Elias. This guy is trying to dunk everything. And he's doing it with more efficiency, more composure, and give Scott Hitchin his due. Game speaks right now. And guess what? I'm telling you that he is an MVP candidate. It's between Michael Nuga and Scott Hitchin. But the thing is, Scott Hitchin's team is down. So that's the area. That's the area where, of course, it has to go to the winning team unless it's undeniable. Michael Nuga is definitely making the case for back-to-back MVPs.
Going back-to-back.
First time in circuit history. He's going back-to-back, as our guy Drake told us. Hitchin at the line. Shoot a couple free throws.
Scott Hitchin cleans up.
Very impressed. Here's Nuga, though, guarded by Jean Gordon Stevens. Keyshawn Saunders with it up top, guarded by Dion Edgem.
Good to see him back in the game. Tyreek Daly.
Nice pick and roll there,
Nice job.
to perfection. That looked like John Stockton in the mailman. Quentin Hamilton with it. In and out crossover, pulls up, no good. John Nwasu. Oh, I love it. I love the pass from the Nwasu. Scott Hitchin unable to finish. He's got to focus there. Nice pass. Again there, Jabril Price-Noel and Josip Vrankic. Both play for the Canada Elite program, showing that connection, although one plays for the younger crew. Josip Vrankic, the U17. Nwasu with it. 3. Keyshawn Gordon Stevens. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Out of Brampton, Ontario.
And we made the comparison to him and Marcus Audi. Early in Audie's career, he wasn't as good of a shooter as he is right now, coming into this first year in the NCAA.
Good. Let's try not to cut you off there, but a great tip-in by Josip. And you can make the case for Josip as the MVP as well. And I know you don't like this, but this could be a co-MVP situation. Hitchin, maneuvering down low, no good.
Gets blocked.
And the area of Hitchin's game, to your point, in all seriousness, he does need to continue to develop a jump shot, his timing, and some post action. His overall skill set needs to improve, but I just love the fact that his athleticism and passion and motor, like that gives you enough there to do some damage at the next level. At 6'8", by the way.
Jabril Price-Noel on the cleanup.
Hitchin gets it. He's going to start the break again. The big fella bringing up the floor. Nwosu for three. No good. Vrankic going back. Another big man starting the break. Gives up to Saunders. Yes, sir. He gets it done. Looked like he was going to explode on that rim. And with a nice body adjustment. Good D by Quentin Hamilton. They're playing it to the last minute here. No basket, but Vrankic was fouled. And it looks like it will be on the inbound. Keyshawn Saunders on the wing. Oh, nice little shake and bake there. You see what Keyshawn Saunders doing over here. You know, that's an advanced move. And White's not letting up. Surgeon's fired up. He's getting W's. Although, knowing him, he probably constructed this team. Saunders with it up top. Dion Edgem. Saunders did a little heat check there. Great to see Tony Sims still in the building. Ooh, as Joseph Vrankic gets the block out to Halati. Sims educated the young guns there. As Joseph Vrankic gives you a two-hand jam of his own. Team White's fired up. And the young guns on the coaching staff getting the best of the veterans in Jermaine Rock Anderson and Aaron Greystone. You got Sergeant Pedicic. Toot Ross sitting there like he's Phil Jackson with his legs crossed. Not a worry in the world. Running the triangle offense, it seems. And Vrankic is still loading up that stat sheet. It's going to be an interesting decision on the MVP. Joseph Halati. Nice pass there from Kajon Gordon-Stevens. Just a reminder, folks, we do have a t-shirt giveaway to those that are subscribed to the official North Pole Hoops YouTube channel, at North Pole Hoops. Of course, if you're watching, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. As Joseph Vrankic shows you the inside-outside game, and here's hearing some MVP chants. Elias, what do you think?
I think it's pretty clear cut.
Is it? So, but you said Michael Nuga early on.
I didn't finish my sentence.
Oh, you did it. Interesting how that works.
I didn't finish my sentence.
Oh, okay. That's a long sentence. That was a sentence that started 10 minutes ago. But go ahead and finish it off.
Anyways.
Go ahead. Finish
Before I was rudely interrupted.
Okay. Interesting.
I think it's pretty clear cut that Michael Nuga over the course of the weekend has demonstrated, you know, the most efficiency and been consistent all throughout. And that was Trevor Hutton there hitting the three.
So what's the verdict? In one word. Just one word I want to hear.
Michael Nuga.
Okay. Here is Dean Andrade. Just wanted to make it clear to the viewers, you know, just so you don't say that you didn't finish your sentence. Two-ad jam by Keyshawn Saunders. I just want to make it clear to the viewers, that's all. Halati for three. Tariq to Nuga. On the attack, no good. And Team White has opened this thing up. Now a 30-point game, and Team Black's got to show some pride here and get back. Nuga catches it. Joseph Vrankic down the lane, and he's padding that stat sheet right now.
And you could see Black's just out of it. You know, they're disinterested in the game, not running the floor anymore, not defending.
It's clear, though, you know, between Michael Nuga and Joseph Vrankic, it's got to be one of those guys. Two candidates on the Team White. And I would say a nice little runner-up for the other team, for Black. You know, I think Hitchin, is it fair to say Hitchin played the best game for Black?
I would say, yeah, he was one of them.
Who else would you
Trevor
say?
Hutton,
Okay.
contributed a little bit. Kajon at times,
Yep.
Gordon Stevens.
Dean Andrade with a nice pass to Hiladi. He's coming on late in the game. It's Joseph Hiladi, 6'5" wing. Showing some inside work. No good on the first is Laddie. Here's Nuga. Back in transition. To McNish for the two-hand jam. And Team White right now is getting whatever they want. See what Quentin Hamilton can do in the dying minutes. Less than a minute left, I should say. Haladi, you know he can shoot that ball. No good on that one. Thanks to all the viewers checking out the upperclassmen game here of the Toronto North Pole Hoop Showcase. Wanted to thank once again our partners, Gatorade, the official fuel of the Toronto NPH Showcase. As Dean Andrade hits that three ball. And he's the one I'll be keeping tabs on. Coming along nicely. Here's Vrankic on the perimeter working it. Nuga. Get pad his stats as well. Dean Andrade on a nice little show and go. And Hamilton will finish that one. And that will be the end of it. Once again, the Toronto NPH Showcase live stream fueled by Gatorade. And we want to thank many of our partners. Of course, the Health Institute, Alter Ego, and Anna Vera. We also want to thank the U of T Varsity Blues as a hosting partner for the third straight year, taking it to another level with the Goldring Center. We also want to thank On Point Basketball in attendance, a partner in development of Canadian basketball. We will be announcing the MVP over social media. Follow at North Pole Hoops on social media to find out. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for a free t-shirt giveaway. That will be all from Toronto. As always, Game Speaks.